All right, guys, so today we're talking about what equipment do you need in order to be successful in the CrossFit gym and environment. So Carson, my friend here, is dressed up, and you can tell we'll start down at his feet. He's got Olympic weightlifting shoes on. These can be advantageous in order to keep a very firm footing on the ground, especially if you're inflexible through the ankle joint. Anytime you've got a load over your head or you're passing through a squat and you have trouble keeping your heels down, this is gonna help you. Also, if you're pursuing Olympic weightlifting at a very high or elite level, I would strongly suggest that you grab a pair. Work our way up to his knees. He's got compression sleeves on his knees. And this can help anytime you're passing below parallel, obviously creates that compression. It might make your knee feel a little bit more stable. And with that support, it can also act as a sense of a push out of the bottom of your squat because of the tension that it creates in that knee joint. The next thing is we've got a belt on. This is gonna help support his midline under heavy loads. And obviously help keep his spine as safe as possible. It gives your core some feedback, so when you flex and you actually brace, it actually allows your body to feel the compression back into it from the belt. Next thing, we make our way out here to his wrists. He's got some wrist wraps on. Use this when you're going heavy overhead. Some people have sensitive and tender wrists, so this helps create a greater support there. You can definitely sometimes see a difference with overhead strength if you add these to your equipment base. And then we've got gloves on his hands. This is obviously if you're going high reps from a hanging position, whether it's toes to bar, pull-ups, you can use them for rope climbs, but it again does create the distance between your skin and the object that you're holding, so a lot of times it makes it thicker. Sometimes it can actually make gripping something a little bit more difficult. The last thing that he's got are straps here that you wrap around the bar, and it will allow you to hold a load and actually be able to pick it up without your grip being your limiting factor, and you can still hold it from a pronated grip versus anything where you would need to do a mixed grip. Like you can do snatch pulls from this, clean grip pulls, and actually hold a grip that is a lot like the lift that you will execute. Now, mimic all the way back to the bottom. What I see when I watch Carson walk into the gym like this is I see that he's wearing Olympic weightlifting shoes because he is inflexible, something that we need to fix. It's my job as a coach. The next thing is those knee sleeves. He says, oh, I got achy knees and it's bothering me, so I wear these knee sleeves all the time, every workout, coach, all the time, because they make me feel good. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that we can fix something in his movement that's gonna better protect his knees and allow him to be more pain-free. So those are completely unnecessary as well. We move our way up to the belt. Do I think this is necessary some days? Sure. Do I think you probably wear it too much? Definitely. So let's cut back on our belt use. Work on strengthening our midline from the inside out, doing different core exercises, different holds and supports. And also, unless we are really trying to create a new 1 rep max of any kind of load, let's try to just get through even some strength days without it. It will make you stronger because of it, and then you'll see a greater use of this thing when you actually add it back into your training. Next are the wrist wraps. Because Carson has sensitive wrists, right? So we want to make those wrists nice and strong. In a real life situation, if we're training CrossFit to allow us to lead a fuller life in regards to things that we're capable of, we can't just run to the car before we do something hard and throw on our wrist wraps and make them so that our wrists are nice and stable. So let's try to get used to overhead loads in the absence of those wrist wraps. Now, can they help? Again, yes, they can, but let's wear them less. Use them as more of a training tool instead of a necessity. Next thing is the gloves. Guys, learn how to hold onto the bar, right? Sign up for Brute and get some great instruction from Nick Sorrell on how to actually grip the bar without tearing your hands. Learn how to do hand care. This can actually hold you back a lot in workouts if you're using them all the time because of the way that it does increase the circumference of whatever you're holding on to. So you might only be able to hold on to it for a certain number of reps. And also, we just can't walk around with gloves on all the time. You don't have soft, dainty hands. A real man has some calluses, and a real woman also. The next thing is these straps. I think that this is probably one of the most functionally useful tools that we've got. I do think that you should not train with them all the time, but there are also times that we can train a lot of and strengthen our pulling muscles from the ground where our grip is our limiting factor. And unless you want to completely destroy your thumb, they can be advantageous. But again, strengthening your ability to hold on to that hook grip and just use your natural grip strength to hold onto the bar is very advantageous. So that's actually our goal when utilizing that as an equipment tool. So all this stuff that you've got, it's not bad if you're using it, just use it less.